What's up, everybody? It's Victoria. I'm back, and I am here because I was just editing some of our YouTube videos, and Oliver decided he would challenge me. So I'm always up for a good challenge. If you're new here, we are Super Geeked, and our channel is about anything that we get super geeked about, anything our friends get super geeked about, and things that you might get super geeked about. So Oliver's video that I just got done editing and is currently uploading to our YouTube channel is his top 5 artists on Spotify that he's listened to in 2019. So Spotify went through and tallied all the hours of listening and the top artist for each of us. So he challenged me to share my top 5 of 2019 also. And since we do vinyl challenges on this channel, Oliver took the initiative to show a vinyl of each of the 5 artists that were his top 5 on Spotify. And so I'm going to do the same thing. So without further ado, here is my top 5 artist of 2019. My number 5 artist was For An Autopsy. So those of you who don't know me really well, I grew up in the punk rock and hardcore scene, and I'm really into loud music, and that is no different with this band, For An Autopsy. They are an amazing band. They mix all sorts of genres, including metal and hardcore, and they're just loud and aggressive and amazing. And I've had the opportunity to see them multiple times this year in 2019. The first time I got to see them, they played a small show here in Biloxi at a little dive bar, which was really cool. And then I got to go and see them in Cincinnati with our friends up there, and because they played a show with Hatebreed and Terror and some other bands, and so that was really fun. And then we got to go see them in New Orleans. So if you like chest rattling music and some really scary stuff, I think you'd really like this band. This has just been a really good year for An Autopsy. They have a new album that just came out, and yeah, love this band. So my number 4 artist is another band that I saw this year. I actually went to this show with Oliver. Joshua had to work, so he didn't get to come with us. Unfortunately, they played this really cool little bar in New Orleans, and it is Come Back Kid. They are a hardcore band from Canada. And they are so much fun live. We had the best time, and I'm so glad I went to the show. This is probably one of my favorite shows this year. So I'm so glad I got to see them, and yeah, love this band. My number 3 top artist of 2019 is another one of my favorite bands, and another band I have seen multiple times this year, and it is Stick to Your Guns. So they are another hardcore band, and just love them. They are so much fun. I've seen them a couple times in New Orleans, and every show has just been awesome. They're really fun to watch. They're one of my favorite bands, so no surprise that they're on this list. Okay, next artist is the number 2 slot, and they have been one of my favorite bands since I was, 17 or 18 years old, and that is Alkaline Trio. So we actually saw them this year too. We drove to Atlanta to go see them, and it was so much fun. It was such a great show. It was a nice little getaway for me and my husband, and yeah, I'm so glad I got to see them, and they are definitely one of my top bands, so no surprise that they are number 2 on this list for 2019. So the last band I mentioned in one of our previous vinyl hauls, and it's no surprise that they made the list this year, only because I listened to them a lot, and it was because they have been a band that I have liked for a very long time. And sometimes you go through phases with bands where you don't listen to them a whole lot, and then you remember how much you love them, and then you listen to them a ton, and that was the case with this band, and it is Parappa Gandhi. So like I said, I mentioned it at a previous vinyl haul, and guess I put in a lot of listening time to this band because Parappa Gandhi was my #1 band this year. I think definitely I listened to them more at the end of this year. I was listening to a whole lot of metal and hardcore at the beginning of the year. And so I think I started listening to a little more of my punk rock roots towards the end of the year. And that's why Parappa Gandhi made the #1 slot. So Spotify also told you on your list some other interesting facts, how many other countries you listen to bands from. I think mine was only like 11, so I guess I'm not that worldly. I don't know. No surprise that most of the bands that I listen to from other countries were metal bands. Another interesting fact that Spotify tells you is the top music categories that you listen to bands from or artists from. And so this is my list. #1 is melodic hardcore. #2 is emo. #3 is melodic metalcore. And then rock and pop. So the first 3 do not even surprise me at all. It is just totally up my alley. It's what I'm into. And I like really loud stuff, but then I like really sappy stuff. So that's totally me in essence. One time Gaela came up with a slogan for She and I, and that was adorably dark. And I think that that totally defines my music choices too. But the big surprise here is my artist of the decade, and actually it's not a surprise at all. I think most people who know me probably rode in my car have listened to this band because they are one of my absolute favorites, and that is Alkaline Trio. So Alkaline Trio is my artist of the decade, and probably the last decade before that too. Because they have been a favorite of mine for a very long time. I remember the first time that I saw Alkaline Trio was in, I think, 1998 at a little place in New Orleans called Movie Pictures. It was an old movie theater, and they played there. They were a newer band at that point. And yeah, so I've liked them for a very long time. So I'm not really surprised that they are my top artist of the decade. So I hope you enjoyed this little vinyl haul. Oliver also challenged Gaela, so hopefully we can get her to let us know what her top 10 artists of 2019 were, and also her artist of the decade. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It would mean a lot, and we love to have you around. We're always putting out new content, and you never know what you're going to find on this channel. So thanks for stopping by, and hope to see you soon. Bye.